Mel Tempest is known as a fitness business influencer, hands-on health club owner, ebook author, and presenter. Mel has known to be controversial, challenges the status quo, and lives outside the square. Her skill set is current on trend, savvy, and in demand. Her primary goal is to get more health club owners moving towards innovation, technology, and social media success. Her own success comes through tough and humble beginnings. Mel Tempest now presents to you the Gym Owners Podcast. More than just the business of fitness, proudly supported by National Fitness Business Alliance.
Well, good afternoon. It's Mel Tempest from the Gym Owners Business Podcast, and today I'm speaking to Daniel Waide from Wexer. Good afternoon, Daniel. How are you?
Yeah, good, Mel. How you doing?
I'm very, very well, thank you. So,
Awesome.
Daniel, Wexer is virtual classes on demand 24/7. Now, I already go out into social media and tell other club owners that we have Wexer in our club, and it's been quite successful. And I'm always inundated with a lot of questions on, about marketing, about social media, about the amount of classes on there. So I just thought today maybe we'll just go over the absolute basics of on-demand programming. Now, with the Wexer program, once it's set up in the club, I know that you guys have absolutely fantastic support. Can email you anytime you guys are there, emailing back with any issues that we have. But the stories that I'm hearing from club owners that they feel overwhelmed by the amount of classes that the consumers have to select from. And so therefore they're not quite sure how to go out onto their Facebook pages and their Instagram accounts and how to choose the right programs to put out there and market to their community. So what are some tips that can help our club owners that already have the Wexer system in their club, or those that may be thinking of it?
Yeah, for sure. And thanks for having me, and thanks for being such an advocate of Wexer and virtual fitness first and foremost. But yeah, I think what we've noticed more recently is with the addition of a lot of great content is that now that our partners do have a lot more choice, and so one of the simplest things to do is to consider who the members are in your club and what's the kind of content that you think that's going to be right for them. So potentially, at 6 a.m., the type of person working out may be a little more interested in high intensity type workout. So I might lead them more towards Beachbody or Daily Burn or our Move 1, 2, 3 Strength or these sorts of titles. Whereas a little later in the morning, it could be more of our yoga crowd and looking at the titles there. So my first advice to club owners is to consider what's the content that's best going to suit my member base, and then we can break it down from there. We can have it available on demand for them and put it in the favorite section using Wexer, or even scheduling a class or two. You don't have to have your whole schedule blocked out with virtual classes, but to have one or two, it actually encourages members to do those kinds of classes. So tip number one would be, think about which members are in your club and at what time and what types of workouts they like to do, and then look at the content that's going to be relevant to that. And then tip number two would be to maybe schedule a class or two to make sure that our members are aware of what's going on as well, so they can help us make those decisions.
All right, so a couple of tips that I have, if you don't mind me including them.
Absolutely.
So what I did when we got Wexer was I thought, how am I going to get all of these people into this room to try the programming? So what we did at the very beginning, we had just 2 group fitness studios. So hypothetically, I might have been in the cycle room teaching a cycle class at 5 o'clock, and I was due into our larger group fitness studio at 5:30. So what I did was, before I started cycle, I went into this empty room and I actually programmed classes so that when my 5:30 class was coming in, they were setting up for the 5:30 class, but they were actually watching the Wexer classes on there on the big screen. And I found that slowly started to educate them on some of the classes that were available on the system, and also just for them to have that experience whilst they were waiting for me. And I found that I'd come in and teach the 5:30 class, Daniel, and then when I would finish, some of the ladies would come up to me, or gentlemen would come up to me and say, oh, look, that was really, really cool, but like, is it really easy to operate? So we would stand there for 2 minutes and I'd go through the, the process of how to put a class on. But I felt that it ignited discussion within the group fitness room before I was even in there. So I was allowing Wexer, to sell itself. And even now, like 4 years later, I still, every now and then, I'm going into cycle, but I'll run into the group fitness room, especially now that you've got Beachbody. I mean, that's an absolute massive win for you guys. Yeah, and, so they're walking in there and they're going, oh my God, you've got Beachbody. I don't have to buy it off the TV now. I can just come to the club and do it. So that's probably one of my hints for the club owners, to think just outside that square a little bit and use it also as an advertising portal when they're in there. One of the other questions that I have for you, obviously club owners say to you, is it going to affect my live classes? What's the best terminology, or what are the best things to say to my members when they come to me and they say, oh my God, are you going to cut the classes off the timetable? Are we not going to have live instructors? How do you help the club owners overcome that fear?
Yeah, for sure. And I think, the real aim with virtual fitness and what Wexer are really trying to do, both in and out of the club now, is to try and make fitness and quality fitness content more accessible to people. And we really feel that digital fitness helps our live classes and helps usage through taking away some of that intimidation. And I know all of our instructors are amazing and friendly and so helpful, but as a new member coming in, sometimes the group fitness room can be an intimidating place. And that's one of the reasons we think that, especially on a tour with a new member, you make them familiar with the class, with the Wexer system, and that can really help introduce them in a really gentle way to group fitness on their terms. It's one of the reasons that I know Zumba and people like that are on our system, because they're all about helping their live instructors, and that's really the way we see it. There's no replacement for a great live instructor. A video is never going to be as good as a live instructor, because you just haven't got that same interaction and engagement. However, it can be that gateway to the live class, and that's really what we're trying to build, and getting that through to instructors as well, and incorporating instructors into the process when you're launching Wexer really helps too. So what we've done at a number of sites is we'll get the best couple of instructors or the favorite couple of instructors with the members to teach a Wexer masterclass, and they'll pick their 4 favorite classes and do parts and pieces of each of those, and then actually be out with their usual students or group, participating with them and helping them with their form. So that kind of, I guess, hybrid way to launch it and get people excited about it and take away some of the intimidation. But instructors generally love it too, because they're world-class people up there teaching on the screen. So we do catch the occasional instructor in the room doing a class and getting tips. So there are a lot of benefits for instructors having it in there, and I think that we've definitely seen an improvement in live classes when Wexer is introduced.
And also, it's a great retention tool. I had a club owner get in touch with me last week and say, look, Mel, I'm just about to, actually it was a club manager, sorry. He had to go and speak to the club owner, and he had to present his case as to why he wanted to put Wexer actually into the club. And he said, what are some of the tips that you can give me? And I said, well, you know what? Actually, you're at the stage now where, because Wexer's been around for 4 or 5 years, you're at the stage now where Wexer will be a retention tool for you. And I went through, some of the scenarios. Everyday club owners are looking for ways to retain the members in the club. So don't focus on bringing new people into your club because you're putting Wexer in there. Focus on keeping those that are already in your club by giving them added value to the membership by putting Wexer in. And then I just went through some of the classes that you had, and I said one of the most important aspects of 2018 for club owners is they need to start to look into fitness that is relevant to families. So not just a single person going out and doing a pump class or, a combat class virtual, but, classes where mum and dad can come in and do them with the kids. And then I started to discuss with him the kids programs that you have. And again, how this can be a great retention tool in keeping the parents in the club. So can you tell me a little bit about the kids programs that you've got?
Yeah, for sure. So we've got a partnership with Idea, and I think that their content's really good fun. You know, there's juggling, there's taekwondo and karate and these sorts of things that can keep keep the kids entertained. With our partnership, when we're partnered with some clubs that have Les Mills live and want to partner with that, they've got a Born to Move program. And there are a lot of other programs in the system that are really sort of kid based, and we are actually even seeing some locations now put Wexer in their childcare facilities.
Yep.
So that they're, especially for the older kids in the childcare facilities, they're sort of obviously watching a TV screen but actually doing something active while we're doing
Yeah.
it. So we think that that's really important. And you mentioned the operational side of things and what sort of benefit Wexer can have for the existing members. And I think that there's a couple of things that can really help your club managers. And that's looking at the statistics and seeing what members are choosing when they're choosing on-demand classes, and letting that help guide your not only your scheduled Wexer classes, which you might have, but also your scheduled live classes. If we've got a ton of live classes going on, and everything is hit based or something like that, and we're seeing that people are choosing a lot of mind and body on demand classes through Wexer, then maybe that is a sign that we should look at maybe adding some mind body classes to our schedule. And I think that using that data and using it to make decisions and having it in a really easy to understand and easy to see way in the back end of the system is really important. And the other thing is just when things come up and when an instructor can't make a session, rather than having members knocking on the general manager's door and asking them to teach a dance class, which used to happen to me occasionally, and I'm not a good dancer. Having a backup there where you can get the members started, and potentially it's just because something happened and the instructor's a tiny bit late. But if something happened and we just can't fill that spot, we've still got something going on for those existing members. So that sort of member experience and satisfaction, hopefully we can help that even beyond the sort of traditional. It's a great service to have as on-demand virtual classes.
I mean, I totally agree with you there, and I'm also really excited about something new that's coming up, which is the streaming into clubs. Now,
Sure.
I know what it means, but how about we tell the club owners out there what streaming is, because I know that they're a little bit confused at the moment.
For sure. So, look, we've got with Wexer Broadcast at the moment. It's really designed for clubs with at least 10 Wexer units across their multiple locations. However, there's no reason that you can't stream from your location to your fitness app as well. And Wexer Mobile has that capability, and as part of a digital membership, your members could have access to that. Again, it is a bit of an investment, and so one of the things I'd look at from a club perspective is to say, okay, why do we want this? Obviously, there's some good quality products out there already that are doing streaming or just digital content. Could we just provide those for our members? Would that be enough? Or, we've got some really great instructors that we're trying to really put on a pedestal, get greater exposure to, and actually help them become a bigger brand themselves across our different locations. And so initially it starts with setting up your studio, and that's, that can be a $30,000 or $40,000 process, but you can do it even for $20,000. It's really like setting up a TV studio. You can have the one camera, and then it'll be that's what'll stream, or you could have 3 cameras, set it up on a timer, and do it that way. And so basically, setting up the studio would be first, and looking into the investment. The lighting and the cameras aren't that expensive. It's the lighting, believe it or not, that sets you back. and then making sure that you've got instructors who are trained to work 2 cameras as well. And so that's an important part of it. And then once you've got that in place and you're confident with how it's looking, then it's having a platform like Wexer in place that can distribute that stream that you're filming in the studio to your different platforms. And again, that's what we do with our Wexer mobile app, and also through Wexer Broadcast. So we can actually stream it through Wexer systems, so that you can sort of press the live channel on your Wexer on demand and watch the best instructor from your gym chain at any of the locations.
So, Daniel, is that all that the Wexer mobile app does?
No, not at all. Not at all. The Wexer Mobile and we've taken full control over it a few months ago now, and so we've brought on the custom fit team who were originally behind the design of the app. So having all of those guys on board in house and with us every day has been great, because we've all learned a lot more about the capabilities and how the app works. But we have a huge suite of features, from the general membership control features that an app needs, to finding classes or finding your closest location, to a workout builder that will ask a couple of simple questions, provide you with an ongoing, changing, evolving workout based around your goals and your time need limitations and your equipment ability and availability. I'm gonna sort of go on and on a bit here, because there are a lot of features on the app.
There is,
It has
yeah.
full tracking. It works in with Apple Health and Google Fit to help members track their progress. And then the real key difference and what Wex is offering, I think that's pretty unique for white label fitness chain apps out there, is the digital membership component. We're not sort of looking at the app now to be just an expense and just a way to see when the next yoga class is on in the club. We really want to take fitness chain brands and fitness club brands outside of the four walls of their existing location and into people's hands that maybe aren't even physical members yet. And we do that with our digital memberships and our digital content. So what you see in the club, we're replicating that on the app, so people could potentially do it at home. As part of our white label process, we'll also have an Apple TV app, so people who aren't good at casting and these sorts of things, they can have full access. So we're really trying to take the gym brand and put it in people's homes, or meet the consumer where they are, to make it more convenient. Again, taking away that intimidation, potentially getting them comfortable enough with the gym brand by doing workouts at home. Then they walk through the doors, get the confidence up, walk through the doors, see that class is available in the studio. They do that class in the studio. Then they meet a couple of instructors. They go into that, and the rest is history, hopefully. So that's the path we see happening. We also see transformation plans and branded workout plans being really important in that digital membership, and we see it as a revenue driver for the fitness locations and for our gym partners. So it's really exciting, the app. So sorry if I went on a little bit there.
No, you're welcome. But Dan, you know what? There'll be a club owner now that's listening to this that's just saying, well, hold on a moment, Dan. If they're working out at home, are they going to come to my club and join it?
For sure. And so one of the reasons that you might have the Wexer app is for your existing members, when they're traveling, when they're on the move, when they're on the road. It can be another reason to have a premium membership within the facility, because I know as prices drop down and we do have more discounts and a lot more competition, it's really, as I said, meeting your customers where they are. And from a prospect standpoint or perspective, someone new moves into your area, sees the fitness brand but doesn't really know it, goes online, sees the app, downloads it, does a workout for free, and thinks, well, that's pretty cool. These people are looking after me already, and I haven't even given them any money. So they get comfortable with your brand, and that's the other thing that we think is really important, that we're showing value not just for our members. Most fitness apps, when you log in, really, if you're not a member, there's no value at all there, and you're sort of locked out of the brand until you can actually sign in with your membership pass. So we really want to give them those tracking features, so they can count their steps or set a goal. We want to give them the workout builder, so that they can start to get moving, and then hopefully, when it comes time that they're ready to join a fitness club, then we'll be front of mind. But I think that's a genuine fear with some chains, especially ones where a digital membership and an actual gym membership are around the same price. However, we really feel that that having both will both lead to new members coming through the club and provide a better service and a better value proposition for existing club members. So when they're doing that, as they do every sort of 14 or 15 months in some cases, when they're doing that sort of value calculation in their head, and they know that they travel a little bit or they weren't actually getting into the club, that they were still getting something by using the app.
All right, so let's take a bit of a step back, and I'll just I've got the same question, but in two different ways. So let's say we've got a club owner who's thinking about putting digital fitness into their club. what are 2 or 3 tips that you give them, obviously to help them make up their mind, but also, we've already spoken about how they're going to go out into social media and they've got to know their community in order to market the right programs community. But what are things that you're seeing other club owners falter at that you could sort of say to these club owners that are thinking about it? So, because they're pretty, club owners can be fairly fragile, especially if they're not used to technology. They get a little bit frightened by it, and they actually don't know where to start, Dan. So, what's just some basic tips to help them out?
Yeah, for sure. Look, I think, and technology in general, and even, when I'm talking about the app, there's so much going on right now, and there's so many different things you can be doing. I think you want to, if you're not comfortable yet with an app, or you're not sure, then just, I don't want to say hold off, but I would say focus on what your I guess more immediate needs are. So from a membership standpoint, from a looking after your existing member base, if you've got a group fitness room that's in your club that's sitting empty 80% of the time, well, that to me says, okay, rents are really expensive. I'm not using that space as much as I should. Let's make use of that space. So if they are looking to add digital fitness into their club, and let's say add a Wexer virtual system into their club, the first thing to look at is the room itself, and to say, okay, what's the best use of this space? How can I make this an experience for my members within the budget that I've got? And so what we've found is that the better that install, when we say install, we mean the large TV screen, projector screen, or LED screen, the better actual results we get from a usage standpoint from the members. So working out, okay, if I can, there's a lot of light in this room, but what if I put some blinds up, I can put a projector up, have a nice big screen, I'll clear out all of those loose pump bars, or loose, step risers that are sort of floating around the room to sort of create a bit of a different atmosphere.
Yeah.
I'll paint the walls black, some little things like that really make it an experience. And that'll really, instead of just saying, oh, hey, now we've got this thing on the wall that you can press and a class comes up, we've got a room that's really tailor-made for that. So I think that's, while it's it's not a technical thing, but making the room more of an experience, I think, is something that people sometimes overlook when they're getting started. They get excited about having a new technology and they plug that in, but just a simple thing like painting the room, or putting an LED light underneath the stage so that it's brightened up, is a really impactful way to affect a really positive experience for your members.
And I was speaking to Quoko Black, who's a gym designer, on the podcast the other week, and he was saying that one of the most important aspects is lighting. And it's amazing how you can walk into a room and just make a few changes with your lighting, and it gives the member a completely different experience. Now, I know that, Anytime Fitness, Funk Fitness, 24-Hour Fitness, and Good Life, they all run the Wexer programs very successfully. What are some of the trends or success stories that you've seen in those clubs in the last, say, 3 or 4 months that could help your existing clientele that are listening today?
Yeah, for sure. So a couple of things that we're really doing with all of our partners at the moment is we've relaunched a marketing support pack, and so we saw the need, and in every business is the same, whether it's a gym or you're selling fitness equipment to gyms. You need the right marketing tools and support. And so what we tried to do is, we know that gym managers are extraordinarily busy, and gym owners are extraordinarily busy. So we've created some social media templates that they can follow. So with the messages are there, we've got different images they can use, links to the content, so that it is interactive. And that helps, I guess, not just make existing members more aware, but it's something that existing members can share with a friend and say, hey, let's go down and check this out at the club. On top of that, I'd say with the marketing for those members, part of that scheduling classes is really important for success with the system. Every club is different, and so I wouldn't say you absolutely have to schedule classes and you're crazy not to, but I think at times where you haven't got a live class in your club and you've got a busy club, so let's say at 6 p.m. on a Thursday, for whatever reason you don't actually have a live class scheduled in one of your studios, having a virtual class scheduled will mean that we can get 7, 8, 9, 10 people into a virtual class, rather than just having a couple of people come in as they do in groups and do a class on demand. So I think that can really add value and help market the system itself. And do that. The other thing that some of the clubs are now looking at is marketing. They'll actually have an image, and I know you already do this. And the I was going to say the smarter clubs, but the ones with time and the energy to do it definitely do use the system to to promote. Whether it's a new in-club program that they've got, whether it's a still image or a video that they've loaded to the system, and have that rolling prior to a live class or prior to a digital class as well. So we do see that as a bit of a trend moving forward as well. So that would be the couple of things that come to mind.
Well, you've given us heaps of information today, Daniel, on Wexer Virtual. So I don't doubt that we're certainly going to help a lot of new club owners coming on board and those that are already your existing clients. But I think we have a little bit of a press/media release here to tell our Australian audience, and I'm really excited about this. Slightly envious, but very, very, very excited about it. Australia has its first Wexer representative who's going to look after the club owners, both existing and new club owners coming on board. And it is with my pleasure to announce that Ryan Hogan, who is a very well-known fitness professional, he's been, and I'm going to go out there and say this, he's been in charge of Filex for over a decade, ever since I can remember. He's one of the most loveliest guys that you can meet, and he's coming on board as the new Aussie rep. How exciting is that?
Yeah, we're extremely excited, and personally, I've felt the pain of the Australian market since coming on board. I'm based in the US, so it's I've got the right accent for the Aussie market, but unfortunately I haven't been able to be there as often as I'd like, but really to have a guy like Ryan on board, I've been pestering him and chasing him to see how we can make this work and get him part of our team. And I've spent a little bit of time with him. We caught up at IDEA in Las Vegas last year, and yeah, as you said, great guy, obviously, and but just really knows his stuff in the industry. He's really well respected, and everyone I've spoken to about him prior to him coming on board said, "Oh yeah, it'd be great if you could get him." And so, and even since he, announced that he's come on board, I got a number of messages saying, great job having Ryan. He's a great guy and he'll be a huge asset. So we're very excited. I didn't want to put too much pressure on him because he hasn't really officially started, and I think he'll be sort of up and running mid-February. So yeah, I'll be in town a little bit before then to hopefully make sure everyone's all good. But then yeah, we're really excited to have Ryan and can't wait to sort of have that person there for our Australian team and market, which has been a great supporter of Wexer as a country. So I'm obviously proud to have the Aussies behind Wexer, but to have an Aussie, have someone based in Australia is really really great for us.
Oh, look, it's phenomenal, Daniel, and it gives that hands-on approach that you need in a business. And
Yep,
he knows the marketplace, he knows the people in the marketplace, and that's an absolute huge advantage for Wexer. So I'm very, very excited about that. And I also know that you're looking for somebody in New York. Is that right?
Yeah. So we're covering. We've sort of had a few changes and movements. So we are and people getting promoted from within, which is great. So we're looking for someone as the new national manager of US, which is based out of our New York office. Where the search continues. We're talking to some great candidates at the moment. Really looking forward to growing the team. You mentioned the content before. The content's grown quite a lot. The team has grown quite a lot. We're really excited. It's going to be a great year with mobile and in-club virtual. Our existing partners are growing and getting some great results. And Wexer Accounts, another thing that we sort of gloss over that we're releasing to really help our partners understand what's going on in their club and in their group fitness studio, both with their virtual content and their live 5 classes. So lots to do, and lots of great people coming on board. But we're always on the hunt for good people. So anyone Mel, please send them our way.
That's why I mentioned it on the podcast. But
Appreciate it.
I have to say, Wexer has exploded in the last few months, and I see it being an absolute massive year for you, 2018, and running full steam ahead into 2019 and 2020. Look, Daniel, we have to wind up our podcast for this afternoon, but it's been a great pleasure speaking to you. And I say to any of the club owners or even small PT studio owners, don't overlook the Wexer system. Just take a couple of minutes to sit back, have a look at what it can do for you as a business owner, because I can tell you now from my own experience, it is a fantastic retention tool, and it can only grow your health and fitness database of members in your facility. So at the end of the podcast, I will pop Daniel's details in it. But now, Daniel, if you'd just like to give them to the listeners, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, so you can reach me. It's daniel.waide, W-A-I-D-E, at wexer.com. Or you can hit me up on LinkedIn, and I will give you my phone number. Is also +1 484 866 3968. I do have an Aussie number too. If you email me, I can send you that as well. But yeah, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're really eager to help out anyone with regard to virtual fitness. Even if you're just not sure whether it is for your club or not, give us a call. We can have a chat and just see what would be the best situation for you, and go from there.
Thank you again for your time today, Daniel. And again, congratulations to Ryan Hogan, who's now the Australian rep for Wexer Virtual. I look forward to catching up with you in a couple of weeks. Thank you, Daniel.
Yep. Thanks, Mel. See you later. Bye.
Thank you for joining the Gym Owners Podcast, sponsored and supported by National Fitness Business Alliance and Gym Click Media. Find Mel Tempest on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Join us next time for the Gym Owners Podcast.